It is the technology show where we translate geek into
regular speak.
And you becoming a regular on my regular speak each week. Hello, Tess. Tess, the producer.
Well, hello, Brett. Thank you very much for having me on again.
I was actually saying to Gal, it's almost like osmosis that I can't have Angela on the show while she's busy running around, but I know you working incredibly close with her on the campaign. So if I have you, then I kind of have her. So yeah, I'm just working with that for now. No. Yes.
Right. Okay. Should I put a blonde wig on or?
Well, no, because then you're going to give me as much hassle and hardships and suffering and pain as she does. So
yes, I could arrange that.
Sorry?
I could arrange for that, yes.
Yeah. I was just thinking about it. I reached out saying, like, is there any chance that Angela can come on the show? And you're like, no, she's drowning at the moment. I'm thinking, maybe that's not such a bad thing because I'm actually quite enjoying the break where I'm not being taken through the mill. Anyway, let's get onto the show. We've got lots of fun stuff. Well, we know who the guest / co-host of the week is. It's you. Welcome back. We're going to go into things with a Z. Now, I was actually looking at my notes and preparing for today, and I realized 3 weeks ago, whenever it was that we did the show together, I featured the Jabra 85 TS, the little and they were awesome. Now, there's no coincidence that I'm doing another headset, but it's just quite interesting that when we did do the show, we did the headset. So what you're looking at is the Jlab. So it's not Jabra, it's Jlab. There we go. You can see it on the screen, Jlab. And these are the new Go Air Pop. Now, I have them. I think I'm the only one in the country that actually has them. One of the things that
is there any toy that you don't have?
Sorry?
Is there any toy that you don't have?
There's a few, and I can start hinting and dropping names because I'd like to get them across. So as you can see, let's just start a little bit about Jlab. And I've featured Jlab before. In fact, they were these ones. So these are the top of the range Epic in-ear with a wireless charger underneath and so on. And they're great, and I still use them, and they're on my desk. These, though, what I really like about this is the disruption aspect. So first and foremost, if no one's heard of Jlab, cool, new brand. It's not that new. They've been around for a while, but these guys are turning heads. So first and foremost, how do you stand out from the crowds? Well, you come out with really cool, funky colors like you can see on the screen. And it really does look like that. I mean, this is called teal. So they're the teal ones.
The greeny ones, yeah.
You've got they're really nice and small and compact. So I'll put it in. So, I mean, you can see it's really, really small. It fits in nice. It's snug. It's comfortable.
Is it one size fits all?
No, you get the little rubbers that you can change, the same as you do with Jabra. This is one thing that Jlab does that I love. I've got them on the other one as well. It's got a built-in little USB cable.
Love that.
So you just plug that into your computer or into any of your plugs that you've got, like if your iPhone plug and you're not using it and you just unplug the wire and plug this in. But when you travel, right, it's so easy to just you've got your computer, you just plug it in and charge up. So that's really clever.
That's one of the things you always forget when you travel. You forget the cords.
Correct. Or actually, you don't forget. You take your iPhone charger, but you don't bring the extra cable, or there's only one plug point for you. And which one do you charge? Now, on the note of charging, it's got 32 hours total usage. I'm going to use the word total usage because the case itself holds the charge. And I think there's 2 charges in here. So it's about 6 hours or 7 hours of usage per cycle. So call it 8. 8 threes are 32, right? No, those are 8 fours. I don't know. I'm not even trying to do maths today. I'm tired. I was up watching the Apple show, so forgive me. 8 fours are 32. Yes. 8 fours. Right. So then there's 3 charges in the case and 1 full charge usage. But even if it's half, even if it's 16 hours, you can't use a headset for 16 hours. You're going to take them out at some point of time. And the case charges up pretty quickly. But here's the really big thing. These are $20 US. Okay. So
how much?
3 weeks ago, 20 in Aussie, 30. These were the Jabra 85 TSs that I reviewed. Okay. So there we go. This case has got wireless charging. This one's got a little built-in USB. I'm not going to go down the comparison of the sound. The Jabras do beat them hands down. The Jabra comes with software. You paying for what you get with Jabra. But if I buy a $20 headset and I lose it, I'm not going to lose sleep. If I buy a $300 headset while I'm traveling and I lose it, I'm going to be really upset. Okay. So, and in these colors, you can buy one in each color. I can buy 5 headsets for $100 or 100
That's really
US.
great for the kids.
Correct. But let me tell you, the sound is amazing. I've been using them. I've made phone calls on them. The other thing that these do that I haven't seen on premium headsets. So the first thing is it only connects to one device at a time, whereas my Jabra is connected to, so I can have my MacBook and my phone. But it's not a biggie, but for geeks like me, it's quite important. But here's the thing that most headsets can't do. I can put the left ear in or the right ear. Most of the other ones, you pair the left ear to the right ear. So you can use just the right ear, but you can't use just the left ear. Now, some people prefer to use the left ear. Some people are left-handed. They prefer to wear their watch on their right. So that's something you can do. Each one of these is individually paired as such. Quality is fantastic. I put there on the screen, search Jlab. If you go to the SME Mall, and I will put that up again later on. In fact, I've got a little ticker for you. You just search Jlab. They are in the mall. You can go there and get them there, the smemall.org.
I think I might get a pair.
Well, this is the thing, right? And you hit the nail on the head. You said for the kids. But when you go away, when you go down to the beach, you don't want to take a $300 headset. If you get sand inside the little earpiece and it goes in and starts rattling in there, your headset's going to get destroyed. These would probably get destroyed too. But as I said at the beginning, I'm quite happy to burn $30 every day of the week. I'm not happy to burn $300. But if I lost a pair of $30, who cares? And it's Christmas time coming up soon. I can't believe I'm talking about Christmas. We're in September. But it's true. Yeah. It's like 100 days to go. These are stocking fillers, Go and buy one in each color and you got stocking fillers. And
how do they get it so cheap? Why are they so cheap compared to everything else? What is it that the price comparison?
I've had a couple of conversations and I've it's not the first Jlab product I'm going to review. You must see the next one I'm going to review. They are so innovative. I'm even going to give a tease that you're going to have to tune in for the show. But what it is with these guys is what they've done is they've sat down and they've said, right, we're going to make a good product that people can use. And we're not going to make it as a brand, in brand names. And we're going to talk about Apple just now because we always talk about Apple. But in brand names, there we go, Apple. You pay for the brand. Take a fragrance, for example, Tess. To make a fragrance, probably costs $2, a bottle of perfume. But you pay $60 for the perfume and the fancy bottle and the packaging. But you're paying for the name, right? Like if you had to go buy a no-name brand and put it in a branded name bottle and tell people it was that brand, it's the new one from that brand, that's what makes it expensive, right? It's the brand. So Jlab, and they are a brand. They've won awards. They've
been around for a while.
Yeah, they're not a no-name brand. But the point is that they've now said we're selling a product that people can afford and rather have more people using our product. And they've got so many. I'm actually going to do this. This is my Jlab pal.
I'm writing that down.
Have a look at my Jlab pal, Tess, because So I've got lots of different Jlab products to play with.
And how come your producer doesn't get to see any of these little boxes?
It's COVID lockdown, Tess. I can't get to you. So, but even on that note, so here's the packaging the packaging is good. It's all recyclable. It's great. It's a great experience. Little pull tab. The little box set there, little pack there with the instructions. So
we can get them on the SME Mall?
SMEmall.org. Just search the word. In fact, there's even a nice little banner up on the homepage. You don't even have to search. It's all done for you. So, stocking fillers.
Love it.
Kids' birthdays. In fact, there's a good one. So I don't know how many people with kids between 12 and 15. The currency for birthday is an iTunes card or an Xbox card or a Nintendo card. And we've spoken about this before. You go to a show, you go to a birthday. The first thing you do is you find out, does the kid have a PlayStation or an Xbox, or does he have an iPhone or an Android? And then you give them a $30 or $40 or $50, I don't know, whatever it is, $50 Google
Card.
Play card,
Yeah.
right? Here's a $30 headset available in every freaking color you could want, as you can see. So it
Yep.
matches everyone's personality. And it's a decent present. Like, it's a great present. So I think they're going to do incredibly well with them. We're not allowed to do comparative advertising in Australia. Well, you can't do brand comparisons, but this is up on
Mm.
their website. So what I'm about to do now is quote. I don't know if you've heard of the brand Skull Candy. It's been around for a long time. It's a street skatewear brand. Make
Oh,
headsets.
possibly. Yeah.
They did a comparison on their site, and again, it's an American brand, so they allow you to do comparative advertising.
Mm.
And Skull Candy sells at $28, and these are 20. And they did the reviews, and the reviews came in better for them, and so on and so on. But still, even at $28, again, US, so $40 Australian, compared to $200 for AirPods,
Yep.
it's definitely worth looking at.
I'm
So,
sold.
well, I can tell you now, the sound is amazing. It even has 3 built-in graphic equalizers. You can have voice, bass boost, or their version. The bass boost has got some bass. And as I said, if you're going to try and compare these to Jabra or to Bose or Sennheiser, you're not going to win. Okay,
Mm.
they don't just spend their money on their brand; they spend their money on different elements and the chipboards that go inside. They control the speakers, but I'm not comparing them to that. I'm saying here's a pair of headset that if I came home after a really good night out, felt my pockets and felt they were missing, not going to go back and look for them. You know what I mean? I'll get over it.
I don't want
Whereas
to
if I
know if
lost
it's
my
a really good
AirPods or
night
my
out and then you've
Jabras,
got no.
so
No, no, no.
that's my
Okay.
things
I like it.
things with a Z. Um, yeah, I was really, really impressed. Right, let's move on. What do we got? Business tech news. Okay, so I mentioned that I'm tired because I was up. If you'd gone to the Apple website for the last week, you would have seen that screenshot, California streaming.
Mm-hmm.
All Apple events open with really cool cinematography and a movie, and this was no different. It showed beautiful scenes of California, and they had like musicians playing in different places. It was really good, nice opening scene.
They've got their marketing down
However,
pat, haven't
they do. I mean, look, they're a graphics company. That's what it's all been built on.
they?
So
Yep.
now, here's where Apple people are different to Android people. We say things how they're supposed to be on both. So I'm going to go through, there's 3 main events, or normally there's 3 events in the year. The first one is the MacBook
Mm-hmm.
or our Mac. We had that earlier in the year. Then in the
Yep.
middle of the year is the software event for the developers. It's the WWDC, the Worldwide Developers Conference, where they talk about all the new software, where we get to see what's coming out. Every now and then they tease with a new hardware product as well, which they did this year. I can't remember what it was. I think it was the Mac Mini. And then at the end of the year, which is what we all wait for, is the iPhone. And tidbits, in this case, it was a watch and other bits and pieces. So I got up this morning, I watched the show. I have to say now, before I carry on, I was speaking to Alex. Alex jumps on the show quite often, and I always say that if there's a bigger fan than me in Australia,
It'd be Alex.
it would be Alex. Someone's just said yes, but were you impressed with the phones? I can't see the user as the comment, but anyway, I'm getting to that now. So it started off with Apple Fitness Plus. They were talking about the fact that they now have included Pilates, which I think is a really good move. So yeah, that's okay, and it's going to share on your screen and blah blah blah. Then moving on, we had the new watch. Now it looks the same as the. It was Alex that asked me if I'm impressed with the phone. We had an off the phone call chat, and I had a moan. So as I was saying in the beginning, Alex has told me that what I need to realize is I'm probably a very small percent of the market that Apple's actually looking for. A, I'm already converted. B, I get the latest and greatest of everything. That's not what these events are about. These are for everyone, and for maybe for people that haven't upgraded every 2 minutes like I do. So looking at the watch, they've made the screen bigger. It goes like right to the edge. If you look at that picture there, it really does go to the edge. In fact, if I look
Yeah.
at my watch with the
The frame's
bezel
gone.
around it, they've done a really good job there. Not much of a change in hardware and so on and so on. Do you need to change from a 6 to a 7? No, unless you want 2 mils more of screen space. But there it is. That new green that they've got there is a really nice looking color. And then all the
That's
accessories
green.
that come
Oh,
with it
yes.
are backward compatible and so on and so on. So that's the
What
watch.
about the price?
Same price. That's the one thing about
Same price?
Apple. In fact, I was talking about this with Alex off air. Apple's really good like that. They always give you more at the same price, whether it's the new phone at last year's price, whether it's more memory at last year's price, bigger screen, whatever it is. You do get more at the same price. It's very rare that they increase their prices. Their prices might increase during the year, like just as prices do. But launch events generally are benchmarked again. In fact, they say it in the show, and they go, and same price as last year, or still at the amazing price of blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
So I'm going to moan now. And this is where Alex told me to stop moaning and actually start realizing about the rest of the people out there. But I'm going to moan. Okay. This is the new iPad. Looking at it, you wouldn't say so because it looks like the old iPad, the iPad before it, the iPad before the iPad before it, and the iPad before the iPad before the iPad before it.
Looks
Am
the
I
same,
impressed
yes.
with the new iPad? No. Okay. And this is why. There's one thing that just grates my gears of the new iPad.
Tell us,
It
Brett.
still has the freaking home button that takes up all of that glorious potential screen that's there at the bottom. That big, round, ugly, messy thing shouldn't be there. Now, again, as Alex did point out, and we'll probably talk about this when he comes on the show, I think it's next week. At $400 or $499 or whatever it is, you're getting a 64 gig top of the range screen, top of the range hardware that will kill any Chromebook out there from a performance and speed point of view. So for a kid or for your first iPad or for an iPad that is 3 or 4 years old, the jump in technology and hardware and that, yes, this is a great iPad.
Why does it bother you so much?
Because for me, I don't like, Apple's all about saving space, getting more out of it.
You don't like
I'll use
pressing
an example.
buttons?
No, but the button, I'm being corrected that the 10.2 inch only arrived last year. Before it was 9.7. Okay, so it's more screen, but it still loses that much screen, that zero big buttony thing.
Oh my
We don't
gosh.
need the button, okay? Edge to edge is what it's all about.
But they obviously do it for a reason. There's a reason why
Yes,
they haven't.
They've got the hardware. No, the
because
hardware
it's
is
the
there.
same. It's just yeah.
So all they do is they change the inners, they change the battery, they change the processor, which is what makes it new.
But maybe they're just keeping to that style as well. They just
No, they're not, because if you look at the Pro, and if you look at what I'm going to get to next, in fact, I'm going to make this ugly thing disappear, and bring this little guy up. Now,
Alex, you're right. He stresses over the silliest things, doesn't he?
I put a disclaimer that I'm probably the small minority. This
they're definitely not marketing to you, that's for sure.
They're not marketing to me, and they've already got me, so they don't have to market to me. But this is exciting. This is the new iPad mini. Now, I never liked the iPad mini. Ever.
I didn't see the purpose of the iPad mini.
Correct. Neither did I. But this one I do. Why? Edge to edge screen. So you're getting 8.3 inches in a 7-inch body. And this is what I was saying earlier, Tess, when I hadn't clicked to the slide yet. Apple is so good at giving you so much more in the same size space. Like you remember the MacBook that came out? It was an 11-inch body, but it had a 12-inch screen. So they're really good at that. They're super good at that. But they didn't do that with the iPad. Anyway, so I'm not moaning anymore. We've moved on. The Mini is so good for multiple reasons. They've put the Touch ID in the button, the power button, like the Pro. So it's right up at the top. It's a little button there.
Oh, yeah.
They've enhanced the cameras. It's edge to edge. It supports pencil. And here's the really super cool thing. They got rid of that stupid lightning port and put in a USB-C so that you can add peripherals to it. You can add, if you use the camera externally, you can put your camera straight in, which is things, you could do it with adapters and things like that with the old, iPad. But yeah, so this got me excited.
So this one gets a tick.
This gets the tick. Price wise was good. It is small, so yes, it still is only a 7-inch device. but it's 8 inches of screen. It's super beautiful screen. It's super fast. And the fact that it supports the pencil, it now becomes a notebook. So if you think about yours and Angela's Remarkable, what did you guys, what's the price? That's like $500 or $600 or something ridiculous.
Oh, keep going up.
This is $500. Full color screen. Yes, it won't last as long as the Remarkable because it's color screen. I get that. But it is incredibly powerful. Same type of size. You can use a pencil now.
No, the Remarkable's black and white.
I know. It's e-ink. That's why it lasts so long. But the point that I'm making is that the price point you paid for a notebook, which is what it is, you now have a 7-inch tablet, which does everything. And with the pencil support, you can now use as a notebook as well. So, yeah,
But do they come up as little, like these little notebooks? See, they're so cool.
Yeah, you could get that. You could get an app to do that. You know what I mean?
You can get an app. You can get an app.
Look, I'm not taking away from an e-ink reader. I mean, the big thing with an e-ink
reader. Yes, he is, everyone. He is.
So basically, yeah, this got the tick for me. Then what else did we have?
Oh, say, what else you got?
I'm disappointed. So I'm not going to read Alex's comments because he is going to come on the show. I'm sure he's going to have a go at me when we're on air together next week. I think it's next week. We'll be talking about iOS though, but he'll still have a go at me. So what you're looking at now, this is the lineup of the iPhone 13. Now, on the iPhone 13, which is one with the 2 cameras, you can see the difference between the 12. The 12's cameras were above each other. These ones are now at an angle. So, but from the back, if I hold my iPhone 12 Pro up to the screen, you can't tell the difference from the back, except for the color. They've got different colors. But the camera configuration is exactly the same. The chassis is the same. Everything's the same, except for you now get more memory, faster processor. The cameras have been enhanced. What I'm going to say about the iPhone 13 and Pro, this is a photographer's phone. So if you use your phone for photography, they actually did in the presentation, they had 2 Oscar-winning directors shoot some footage with the cameras, and it was phenomenal. So Apple's clearly making a move to video. They're focusing on video. I mean, their pictures have always been
that's what it's all about now, video.
Well, look at us. We're live. We're streaming. But if you look at the phones from the front, so there's the example I was showing you with the 12 and the 13. You see the 12 is the purple one. It's got the cameras above. The huge difference on the front is the size of the notch. Can you see it's smaller on the 13?
Yes.
It's come in. So they've reduced that by 20%. Is this enough reason to upgrade from a 12? Definitely not. Okay.
So you won't be doing it?
No, I won't be upgrading. Unless Apple sends me one to play with and use, which they never do, I'll be waiting for 14. So I work on a 2-year cycle now because I'm used to being disappointed on the second version.
So there really isn't that much going on besides them moving the placement of the cameras
and the notch.
And the notch.
This is on the 12. This is on the 13 and the 12. On the Pro, the extra you can now get up to 1 terabyte of storage. So with video, that makes sense. And also on the 13, you can get up to 512, which you couldn't get on the 12. And then the video capture and the video technology through their new cameras and their new algorithms is really amazing. I have to say that. Yeah. I mean, watching the footage that they shot was unbelievable. It really was unbelievable. But if you're not a professional photographer, the difference between the 12 and the 13, nah. So, and I think iOS 15, the actual operating system, is going to do a lot of that hard work anyway. So when I get iOS 15 next week, I'll be able to see how much more I can and can't do anyway.
I was just going to say, we'll see what the differences are.
Yeah, so that's basically it. I'm still getting commentary. There's so much more that is.
Was it worth? No, the real question is, was it worth getting up to watch?
It always is. Because, really worth Fanboy. It was, and you know what? It's nice to see the stuff, and it was. It still was worth getting up, even though I think I wanted more. I think it's just like this. Just summarizes 2021.
We always want more. There's no doubt about that. We always want more.
2021. Like the year's been so shitty that, and the iPhone 13 wasn't what I wanted it to be. There were rumors of satellite integration. There were rumors of.
Oh yes, that's right. We talked about that.
Yeah. There was going to be different enhancements on the processor, where maybe even potentially putting the M1 chip in. There was talk of putting a USB-C port
Well,
in,
maybe
getting
COVID got to them as
lightning
well,
bolt.
right?
Yeah, but if you want to watch the show, you'll find it on YouTube. You can go to, if you on a Mac, just open up Safari. It'll be there. Go to Apple events. Apple TV's got it. Your phones will have it. I enjoy watching it. I must say, the cinematography and the presentation of the show is always
If I'm
very
bored and sick in bed, I still wouldn't watch it.
So we're not quite finished with Apple just yet.
Oh, and here I thought we were moving along.
No,
Oh no!
you always mock me about Apple. I want to give you as much of it as I can.
What have they done? They've band-aided something.
Tess, I know you use an iPhone, and Angela, when you watch the show later, please, 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 for you and every other iPhone, iPad, watch, and Mac user, I think Apple TV is excluded, there is a security patch that's been plugged up through a software update. It's spyware. It comes in using the Messenger or iMessenger protocol. You really do need to do the update. So if you haven't updated your phone in the last week, then you need to update it now. In fact, stop what you're doing.
I'm checking
all day long yesterday. I was getting notifications from all the things that I follow. In fact, Alex actually even sent messages out to everyone saying, guys, if you haven't done it, do it. So it's quite a serious patch that they've plugged up. REA had a go at me on LinkedIn this morning. It's so nice to wake up. Hello, Mr. Sternberg. It's so
I must
nice
have done
to
it because there's no notification saying I haven't done it. So
if you've gone to your phone to settings to software update and it says all up to date.
I think so.
Yes. So you go software update.
Yep.
Okay, then you've done it, and that's good. Oh, you might have left yours to auto update, which is not a bad thing, but there we go.
It does do it sometimes. Yes.
Yeah, I woke up this morning to LinkedIn with Aria having a post. Not that I like giving it to Apple, because he does. Just making a note about this, and he tags me. He goes, "Hey Brett, maybe you're going to talk about this on the show." I was like, "I'd already planned to talk about it on the show, but it is a serious one. So you do need to upgrade. Once you upgrade, you'll be fine. So please do that. Public service announcement warning. Right, I think Tess, I'm done with Apple. Yes, I'm done with Apple. So WhatsApp won an award. They won themselves $266 million fine in Ireland for a privacy. I think it was an EU GDPR privacy regulation breach. It's a whole tongue twister mouth exercise. But the bottom line is that, we've spoken about this on the show a few times about GDPR, which if people don't know, it's like the General Data Privacy Regulation Act. It pertains to Europe, but what a lot of people don't know or don't realize is that it protects all European or British citizens. So if someone's living here in Australia and they are a EU citizen and registered as an EU citizen, and you spam them and take action against their personal information, they can take action against you because you're not GDPR compliant. Now, Australia has got a bill sitting in Parliament. I'm sure Angela would probably know more about this than I do, about our data privacy and our privacy prevention. But there's still a lot of spam going around. We've all spammed people. We've all sent out text messages. What's that palooka from some political party, the United Party or something? Craig
Kelly.
Him. What a tosser. I mean, he there we go. He SMS'd me 3 times. The same freaking message. One, I can't vote. I haven't been sworn in as a citizen yet. So, but this is the point that I'm making. If I'd been a British or EU citizen and he sent me that text, I'm within my rights under the GDPR to take action against him.
Wow.
So there's quite a serious piece of software, legislation. And it's something that people should, just be aware of. You can't go around spamming people every day.
What did WhatsApp do then? Did they spam people, or why did they?
I don't think it was them. I don't think it was them spamming. I think it was a case of them actually using people's data. Like, you can do business via WhatsApp and you can push ads and content through, especially when you use the web version of WhatsApp. There's ads that serve. So I think they were actually spamming people from that point of view. I didn't read the article. The fine was leveled against him in Ireland. I'm just mentioning on the basis that because we're quite complacent here and we don't really have a piece of law that does stop us. There is the ACCC, and you can lodge a complaint and they might take
ACCC.
some action. But at the moment, you can kind of get away with spamming and you might get a warning. But in Europe, they're not taking any nonsense. So yeah, that would. But what's nice about this, right, is Zuckerberg's company lost $266 million. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, Apple's back.
Oh, excuse me.
Bless you.
Oh, you lied. You lied.
Well, actually, this was more about Google. So
I was going to say,
pulling an Apple. No, you'll appreciate my creative what I've done here. So Google's now pulling an Apple. They've now started making their own silicone as well. As you know, Apple has their own M1 processor, which they make. So Google's just announced that they're going to be doing the same thing for their Chromebooks. Now, this is interesting. If you take companies like Intel and who's the other big player? Most Android phones have it. I've gone blank. Anyway, it will come to me. Their money comes from making chips. They've been supplying chips to every single hardware manufacturer for years. And of course, when the shortages happen, they're at fault. So now, Snapdragon. Who makes Snapdragon? That's the processor. It's made
Snapdragon.
Yeah. That's going to bug me. Anyway, it will come to me. But basically, Google's now going to start making. Now, if Google starts making their own silicone, that's the Pixel, the Chromebook, Qualcomm, thank you. Qualcomm makes the Snapdragon processor. These guys are going to lose a lot of money. So here's a warning to the stock market. If you own Intel shares or Qualcomm shares, you may want to look at your portfolio because their sales are going to go down. I think Foxconn also makes, or they used to make for Apple. So very interesting that Google's going that way. And of course, what this is actually going to do is that most hardware manufacturers are going to start looking to make their own silicone in-house. So just to change the landscape. I love this story. Now, we are 5-10 years away from this becoming a reality. What you're looking at is a product from Motorola called the Space Charger. It can charge up to 4 devices wirelessly that are up to 3 meters away. Now just think about that. When you're sitting in your lounge watching TV and your
phone's charging my phone while it's in my hand.
It's charging because the space charger is sitting there. So take your average living room, right? Okay. Yourself, your partner, your kids are sitting watching TV. You're all on your devices, your iPad, your phones, whatever it is. And you've got this space charger device sitting somewhere, and it's just beaming out and wirelessly charging your device. So your devices are always charged because they.
Is that healthy? Is that healthy for us? And how lazy are we? We can't even get up to plug in the phone.
So Gail always moans about things like this, right? Gail's the first person to say,
I don't believe it. I don't think Gail moans at all.
Gail moans a lot. Don't defend her. I'll get her on air and she can. You can't defend her. So basically, she always says, I want the Wi-Fi off because it pushes waves throughout the whole house and it's frying our brain. I got 5G. Why'd you get 5G? We're going to grow potatoes out of my ears. And you know what I mean? So Gail will have a problem with this. But this actually comes from, I think it was Elon Musk.
Can't be healthy.
He designed a wall where the whole wall has this power that will charge up your devices and that.
You need these at the airports and in the hospitals where you got to go plug it in and you got to touch other stuff that people touch. That would be great.
That's where it gets good because Gail also doesn't like germs. So if you had to say to Gail in a public place, you can keep your device charged without having to put it on anything or touch anything.
That gets a thumbs up then.
See, now all of a sudden it gets a thumbs up. So it depends.
But not for at home.
Well, look, it's electromagnetic waves. They are what? 5 watts or 17 watts. I don't think it's going to change our DNA in any way, shape, or form. I don't know. But we're 5 to 10 years away from this actually becoming mainstream anyway, or at least a consumer product. But what's really cool is Motorola. Well, Motorola is now becoming relevant again. I mean, they just disappeared. Since Lenovo bought them 3 or 4 years ago, they've started doing some stuff. They have some incredibly priced Android phones at the entry level. And now we're looking at this thing called a space charger. So it's a story I'm going to follow because I really do like the technology. So, here's another story that Gail gave me. So Microsoft have joined the space race here in Australia, and our space station or space council sits down in Adelaide with their funny time zone. Do you know Adelaide's got a half an hour time zone? I'd love to know why.
Have you been to Adelaide?
I have.
It's lovely.
It was the funniest thing.
I love
got off the
Adelaide.
plane, and my clock went back half an hour, and I was like, I couldn't figure this out. Anyway, so they're going to be putting satellites in ground satellites, like those base satellites down in Adelaide as part of our space program. Now, Microsoft don't generally do things out of the goodness of their heart, and don't get Cal started on Bill Gates, okay? But they don't do things out of the goodness of their heart. The defense of this has been that if we have satellites on the ground here that can pull the data from the low orbit satellites, we can make decisions a lot quicker. We can get critical information a lot quicker. So like storms or hurricanes or anything that we need to know about bushfires, the data can be sent back to us like really quickly because the satellites overhead can send it back down. The problem with having a company like Microsoft, and I'm not just having a go at Microsoft, they're the ones that are investing it. It could be Amazon, it could be Facebook, it could be Google, it could be Apple. I mentioned Apple again. Sorry, Tess. But it could be any of the big data companies. When you have them this invested in $1 trillion industry on your home soil, being the cog in the wheel that's going to handle all the data that's coming in and out of, that governments are going to use to make decisions.
Yes, yeah.
Sure, how good that is, Yes, we need the money. It's a great investment. It's going to create 1,800 jobs. So there's lots of positives. But when
they're the ones with all the information, though.
Yeah, this is the thing. And as I said, Google has put a massive investment into Melbourne. They're building a huge campus in Melbourne. The Atlassian boys are building a huge building, I think, in Parramatta. So big data does do good. It builds big infrastructure, which creates jobs. It employs people, which creates jobs, which we need, especially coming out of the pandemic. But when you start giving them the keys to the first point of data or data capture, I don't know.
It'll be a watch and see that one, see what happens.
I mean, this is happening. So, it's definitely coming.
When are they starting to do that?
Well, the deal's been done, but I mean, this is probably 3, 4, 5 years of work, How long did Elon take to build his battery plant? Remember that whole thing? He said he'll give it to them free if he doesn't make it in the deadline, and he did. And that was like 100 days. So that was 3 months. To build something of this nature, ground-based satellites, no one really has lying around in the backyard that they just, hey, let's just put these up. So it's probably a couple of years until these things turn on. But we're 2 years into COVID already. Look how quickly that went. So,
interesting times. Oh, I don't know how quickly it did go, Brett. I don't believe we're out of it yet.
Went back to Apple.
Oh, just give it a break already. Move on. Aren't we up to the quiz show, game show time? Come on.
No, this is a warning, okay? Because I ride a bike. There's a warning that's been come out that said, in fact,
don't answer your phone while you're in the bike.
Because the no, you can do that. Because the cameras work on magnets and special processes for stabilizing. A lot of motorbike riders have been reporting that their phones aren't working properly. And Apple's actually they've made a release saying that the effects of the vibrations, the heavy vibrations, because if you mount it on the handlebar takes all the vibration of the motorbike. It's the shocks of everything's there.
Do they put their phone on the handlebar?
Yeah, you can put in a little clip. You get a thing like a G-lock. It's
I've never seen that. I've never seen any of that. I've never really looked.
GPS. It's no different to a car. You put your phone there. In fact, if you're a P-plater,
I just assume I assume they knew where they're going.
But this is just a warning to motorbike riders. So there is a way around it. You can get certain types of brackets that have a gimbal in it, and the gimbal will take a lot of the shock.
Yeah,
that's what it's for. So just bear that in mind. You're spending $2,000, $3,000 on a phone. The vibrations on your bike have now been reported to mess up the cameras, and I'm sure it will happen with any of the cameras, with the Samsungs and that as well. They all work on the same type of technology. All right, I'll leave Apple alone now. I think I have one more piece of news. I do. Do you know that flag? Let's play the quiz game. Austin, no, you can't read. Don't zoom in and read the name because I can see it's there.
I saw it on the
That
notes.
is,
I can't remember. Yeah, the Bitcoin country. Oh, I
that's
forgot.
El Salvador.
El Salvador.
So
I was
El
going to
Salvador,
find it.
well, it actually is there in the coat of arms. It says Salvador, but
how is this going to work? How will this work?
So half of me thinks this is brilliant in the sense that if you take any third world country, I mean, in Africa, we had it with Zimbabwe. In Italy, you had it, well, Italy's not really. Greece had it. Most of South America's had it, where their currency, due to inflation, just becomes its toilet paper. So by putting in a cryptocurrency or a digital currency, that part of it is brilliant. Here's the problem with El Salvador. One, drugs. You're in a country that's in a continent which is infamous for moving drugs. Okay, I'm not suggesting that El Salvador are moving drugs. I'm just saying that in the region, a lot of drugs get moved around. So by now looking at including Salvador as part of your Silk Road with Bitcoin as a transaction, you're never going to be able to police that. So that's a problem. Second problem is a lot of human trafficking moves through those regions. Again, Bitcoin's a natural currency. Now you can do a transaction with someone anonymously without any form of tracing. But another big concern about Bitcoin becoming a currency, as in transactional, as opposed to investment. What happens to the Bitcoin market as a whole? Because there's only so many Bitcoins. So once they've kind of now
Which is why I said, how will this work?
I don't know the answer to that. So it's going to be very interesting to see. But you know, it has already caused a plunge in the value of Bitcoin because it's said to them. But as soon as you use the word legal and cryptocurrency in the same sentence, there's problems. What happens if people steal people's phones, because that's where your wallet now is? Now, the same as Apple Pay, you have, and Google Pay, you've got that on your phone. But now you've got Bitcoin.
I don't have that on my phone.
Okay, but even if you did, Tess, you can cancel your credit card and you don't lose your money. You can't cancel your Bitcoin or
credit card in the back of the phone. That's probably worse.
So you do a manual. You and Gal exactly the same. Gal carries her card on the back of the phone. Her tap of phone is not the app. That's a Bell moment. There we go. That's what you call analog tap to pay using your phone. Oh, my phone's got tap to pay. I've got my credit card stuck on the back. So I'm going to follow this story and I'll report back on it. It'll be interesting to see what happens to the cryptocurrency, or not cryptocurrency as a whole, but specifically Bitcoin. But it's an interesting move. It is an interesting move. And that brings me to the SME Mall, which I mentioned earlier on. So there it is. You can go through, you can search. There's the Jlab Go Air Pops. Anyone that hasn't opened up a store, 230 people are selling products inside the SMEmall.org.
Wow, 230 products available. Fantastic.
Not products, listed vendors from there.
Also, there's even multiple.
We talked about them earlier. You can go and buy any of your Microsoft products in the mall. You can get any of your gaming products. You can get JLabs. You can get competitors to JLab as well.
I'm so going to get me some JLabs, and everyone else is going to get them for Christmas as well.
Well, you can also have a look at Craft Cocktail. I featured them last week. 700 different craft beers available. I've actually just signed up myself.
That's right.
Subscription. So each month I get some craft beers to taste.
And actually, and it's probably best, go back one. Do Christmas shopping now, because they say the backlog, stuff coming from overseas, the couriers, the post office, everything, it's just going to be hectic. You're not going to get them in. If you haven't done your shopping by middle of September, they reckon don't even bother.
That's actually very good advice, especially if you are looking at taking advantage of some of these deals that we have, which come through from the States.
That's right.
I featured on this week's featured list on the emails that go out. There's a company in France called Z Chocolate, or Z Chocolat. They had a fire early on in the year and their factory burned down, and they've now reopened up. Just go and look in the smemall.org and type in chocolate without the E and have a look at this chocolate.
Oh, I'm going to.
And you can get it engraved in the box. They do it by numbers with all these decadent fillings. And they deliver to Australia 7 to 8 days, and it arrives, in special packaging and that. So for corporate gifts and that, you want to start getting in now, making sure the stuff's arriving in time. It can be engraved and so on. So lots of stuff in the SME Mall, SME Mall.
Very exciting.
And now we're going to your segment, Tess, which now you
can do it. Same screens.
Here's the name of our new segment that we did last time.
Does Brett really know?
I don't know. Does he? Let's see. Right. So for the listeners or audience that don't know, a couple of weeks ago, Tess decided instead of Q&A, she was going to challenge me in a game show format. And you have your bell ready. And that one was actually an Ahh-pple, and I did terribly. So what is the Does Brett Really Know?
His technology acronyms. Does he really know?
I like to throw them around, but I don't know if I actually know them. Okay. How many have I got coming at me, Tess?
Ooh. Oh, I did 18. I've been very busy today.
Well, that's a lot. I don't even know if we have that much time on the show for 18.
We're going to go fast. We're going to go fast. We're going to go really fast. There's no time for discussion here. You either know it or you don't know it. That's it.
Okay. Let's play Does Brett Really Know?
I've got to make my buzzers get ready. Oh, here. Oh, that's my wrong one. Okay. Right. What does ACL stand for?
Australian Cricket League.
Okay. Technology acronyms. Hello.
I have absolutely no idea.
Access control list.
Fantastic.
That was big.
There we go.
Okay. What does RAM stand for?
Random access memory.
Oops.
I'll use my bell. Mine sounds better.
I lost. Okay. What does AES stand for?
Oh, it's a security protocol, automatic electronic
advanced encryption standard.
Yeah, I said it was a security. I get a half there. I knew it wasn't a security.
No, you don't.
Okay, but
USB. I gave you an easy one.
Universal Serial Bus.
Oops.
There we go.
Okay. API.
Automated plug-in or automated plug-in interface. I know what it does.
Application programming interface.
I know what an API does, but okay. Does Brett really know? Nothing.
CPU.
Central Processing Unit.
Perfect. Okay. RIP. Rest in peace. But no, there's another term.
What I want the segment to do. I do not know.
Routing Information Protocol.
Okay. Routing, yes. Routing, no.
DAM. Oh, I've got two. DAM.
Damn. Don't know. Damn.
One, database activity. Database activity monitoring or digital asset management.
I just said that. Digital asset management.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, folks. I didn't hear him. My bad. Okay. HTTPS.
Oh, hypertext. I don't know. Protocol.
Yes. Hang on. What is it? Hypertext transfer protocol. You nearly got it.
There we go.
IMAP.
I can have that one. Sorry?
IMAP.
Oh, International Mail Application Protocol, I think.
That's what it is, but that's not what those letters stand for. Internet Message Access Protocol. Access
Protocol. Yeah, it's what Google uses to send email. I get that one. I don't. Maybe half.
We'll give it to you. Okay. Oh, no, wrong button. Oh, well, you didn't get it. ISDN.
Oh, this is what the telephones used to know. I don't know.
Integrated Services Digital Network.
Yeah.
I'll give you an easy one. LAN. LAN.
Land Access Network.
Local Area Network.
Oh, okay. Terrible one. Oh, WAN is Wide Access Network. LAN is local. That's
Correct. And the last one, VLAN.
VLAN, virtual local access network.
Area network, but I'll let you have that.
Okay. So that's about 6 I got right out of what, 10, 11?
14-ish, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's about the same score. So here's the thing, right? In fact, this is a great example, and thanks for the challenge. Just before we quickly wrap up. So myself included, us tech people, we throw acronyms and shortcuts and abbreviations around all day long, not necessarily knowing them. But I think the most important thing is to know what they do. That's it. Like API, I never know the damn meaning of it. But an API is what you get from one software company to allow your software to talk to theirs. I understand it. But that was a fun one. Does Brett really know? No. Tess, that was awesome. Thank you. So
very welcome.
I think that brings us to the end of the show, which means I can do that and we can say goodbye properly. So say goodbye, Tess.
Farewell, everybody.
And till next time, keep your screens clean and your knobs shiny.